Okay, good. So now we're going to start a new project. So like we've done before, and this one's going to be called sheet metals. So the last ones we worked on was additional modeling tools. So how do we add a new project again? Is again we go projects, and we go do new project. We're going to change this one to sheet metal modeling. Okay, and we're going to press finish. Say yes, and now we have a new project folder. Let me just pause for a second. So now that we've started with the sheet metal modeling, we're going to be creating a face feature. We're going to create a flange, a contour seam, a punch. We're going to use the bend features, the corner rounds, and we'll use the flat patterns. Okay, good. So now we're going to go back to our sheet metal modeling, and we're going to start our first piece. So we're going to go press new part. Was that correct? No. We're not doing part, we're doing sheet metal. So we're going to go make sure we go back to, I hate the look of this. Okay, inches is good, but I want to do a new. We're going to go new, and now we're going to not do a part like we've used here before. We're going to go make sure we use sheet metal. So when we're doing with sheet metal, we're going to deal with this one. Okay, and if we have assembly, we're going to do the weldment assemblies as well. So we have to make sure we're not doing the part. Now we're doing sheet metal part. And you notice the difference once we hit create. Sheet metal modeling, create. And you notice that it looks already different. We have different commands over here under our create button. So now that we've started the sheet metal, we're going to go quickly do our settings. So when you start the settings, you're giving the thickness of your metal. So we're going to go to manage, and we're going to go to our sheet metal defaults, which should be under sheet metal. We should be under here. Sheet metal defaults. My bad. And you're gonna go here, see where it says thickness. If we uncheck this one here, we could adjust the thickness of our piece. We could change it to default millimeters, or we can make our own custom one, so we know for the next time which one we're going to use. So in this case here, we can make a new one. All right. So we're going to go to the millimeter one, default, and we're going to go change it to generic is okay. And the thickness, we're going to put it to 0.12. Right? So we left the material as is. We're in the sheet tab. We're putting the thickness to 0.12. We're going to click on the bend. And we're going to go make sure that in the bend, we leave it as straight. And we're going to do transition. We're going to leave it at none. Okay, this looks okay. Relief, we're going to, sorry, in the relief one, we're going to put it to round. My bad. So now we rounded the edges over here. And in the corner, we are going to change the settings from trim to bend. This looks okay. Round fed. Actually, everything looks pretty good here, actually. I don't think we're going to change anything in this case here. Looks okay. Everything is okay, right? Everything is okay. Bend options. So good. So we can press save and close. So right now our thickness is going to be now set to 0.12. You notice it? It's set to 0.12. Once that is done, we could go back. I think I missed something here. We did this. This is okay. This is everything looks okay now. I'm just double checking. Thickness is 0.12. The unfold rule. Everything seems okay. In the unfold rule, let's just double check here. It's back to linear, which is okay. Okay, so it's okay. We have a linear. So everything is okay. Good. So now that we've done that, the first step we're going to do is we're going to create a new sketch. So we're going to go start a sketch, and we're going to go open up our origins like we've done before, and use the XZ. So we have our flat plane. We're going to use a rectangle like we've done in the previous ones from the center. And our numbers are going to be 6, 6. So we have our base piece. Now watch what happens once I push finish sketch. It automatically, again, I always forget to click OK on the screen. So edit sketch, rectangle, 6, 6. Click on the screen so it actually stays. Finish sketch. And you're going to notice that it automatically should have extruded right away. If it doesn't, you just click on face, and you click on the face, and now we can extrude it the same number. We can't change the number. If you want to change the thickness of any metal we're doing, then you have to go press in the settings. So now we have our thickness over here. So again, the thickness we see over here could only be changed if you go to default and change it here. Why? Because sheet metal, if you're doing a piece, cannot have different thicknesses. Why? Because you're using one sheet of metal. Once that piece is done, we're going to go add a flange in the top corner right over here. So we're going to go to make sure we click on flange, and we're going to make sure we click on the top edge, like you see over here. All right? So now that we have that set, we're going to go set our distance. So we did our flange, the top thing. We're going to set the distance to 4. By setting it to 4, you notice that it goes up on the piece itself. We're going to make sure we have the bend on intersection on. Oh, here, this one here, sorry. This is okay, perfect. And we make sure we have this one on. Perfect. And we press apply or OK. So now we have our piece bent. So now that we have the two pieces complete, we're going to go add the next one. So now that we added the flange, we're going to add a contour flange next to it. So we're going to draw a sketch on the front face. We're going to click the sketch and draw on this face right over here. Now we're going to draw the point as you see here. We're going to draw a line from here. Are we going across? Yes, we are. We're going this direction, like so. And we're going to put it, just because we see the number, we could click on it and add a number later on. So we do annotate. This should be 0.8. And then we have to add another line going down like so. Which should be, what's our dimension? 3.88. Oh, something's wrong with our number. Which means I didn't go low enough. Why is it doing this? Because it's a reference. We don't need it. It's already fixed. So we're going to just delete that. And we're going to make another line from here. Since we already know the distance we're going to go, let's go type in 3.88. So right up to there. Okay? So now we have our line. Let's add a dimension to it. Why did it stop? Good. It is bad. What's this? So now we have our profile set. We drew a line 0.8 going this way and 3.88 going down. We're going to finish the sketch. And if you notice, it's going on this profile over here. This looks so far correct. We're going to go now use our contour flange. We're going to go make sure our profile is the one we just built. Like so. And we're going to, now that we have the sketch, we're going to go do the edge. Like so. Profile, then the edge. And it made the piece, the flange, grow on the other side, the contour flange. Once we've accepted it, we could go and press OK. I think everything looks OK. Let's see if I have to flip it. Everything looks OK though. I don't have to flip it. Do I? Actually, I think we have to, yeah, we have to flip it. So we're going to flip it in direction number, or flip side. If I go the other way, it goes higher. If I flip this way, it goes lower to make it level back to the piece. Oops, I hate the orientation we're getting. Like this. You see it? Good. Once that's done, we're going to make sure we do the width. We're going to set it to edge to make sure we have it. Because if I do width, I have to choose a number. If I do offset, I offset it. If I do edge, it's going to go from edge to edge, which is what exactly we want. We press OK, and now we have our flange. See it? Our sheet metal is folding. So we're first going to build the piece, and then after we're going to flatten it later on to show you how the sheet metal looks. Now that we've completed this part, we're going to go add a punch. Oops. So now we're going to go to our, not a punch, sorry, I jumped ahead. A corner seam to close these two off. So now we're going to go to corner seam over here. Now it activates this. And we're going to rotate the model so we can see the back point of the piece we just built. Right over here. Okay? We're going to go and choose the two edges forming the corner. which would be this corner here, right? Anybody? I would like some feedback from here. And the other one would be from here. So now we have the two pieces that are going to connect it. We're going to go make sure we leave seam on. We're going to go make sure we do maximum. And we're going to make sure we have symmetric gap on it. In the bend options, we're going to make sure that it's set to default. And we're going to change it from default, to, I think actually default is good. It is default because we had set it before. And the corner, we're going to leave it to relief. Which one? Round. So now we have that little round corner. Everything else seems okay. Press OK. OK. And you notice we have our pieces cleaning up. All right? It cleaned our piece with a nice round edge at the bottom. Good. Now that that's done, what we should do is we should save the piece for now. So we're going to go press File, Save As. And we'll call this one, like we've done before, Tutorial 1. Now, the reason we're saving now that we're done is because we have to make a punch. And to make a punch, we have to open a new file. So we're going to go again, File, New. Nope. See, I did it that way, so it automatically says. So I'll just do File, New. Sheet metal again, under the same project. Now that that's open, we're going to go create a sheet metal face of a dimension 4x4. So we're going to go like we've done before, a sketch on any plane. Does it make a difference? No. So we'll just use the, should we use the XY or should we use the bottom? This one here? Perfect. We're going to make a rectangle from here to here, and we're going to make it so it's 4x4. Okay, we're going to click so it actually makes it, and we're going to finish it. Once we've done that, we're going to go click on the face, which is like we're extruding it, and we're okay with the perimeters that we have set. Press OK. So now we have our piece of sheet metal that we're going to punch a hole so we can take that profile and bring it on to the next size. Good. So now that that's done, we're going to go select the user perimeter role and add it. So we're going to go to Manage, and we're going to go to Perimeters, which is going to be over here, and we're going to go click on this. So now we're going to play with these perimeters of the object. So we're going to scroll down to the user one at the bottom, right? We're going to click on User, and you're going to go to Add Numeric, like so. And now we're going to go type in diameter, like so. Right? We can leave it inches, and we can change this to 0.04. Now we're going to add another one underneath. We're going to call it length. We're going to put it to 0.12, and we're going to press Done. Okay? This is similar to what we did before with the bolt, where we changed it around to make it shrink and grow. Once that's done, we're going to go click on the sheet metal top, and we're going to make a new sketch on top of it. From here now, we're going to draw the shape. So what shape should we use? Let's use a slot. So we're going to go to Slot. Do we have any with a center point? Yes. This one right here. Click the center. Stretch so it's a straight line going across. And then you go up to give it a thickness. Okay. Do we need the dimensions right away? Yes, we're going to play with them as we go right now. So we're going to click on dimension, right? And then from here now, we're going to go and click edit. No, this is it. We couldn't do the dimension. Click the dimension like so, from here to here. Click it. Press OK. But before we do it, we could go here on the little arrow, and we could go check to show dimensions, right? It actually should be edit dimensions. Actually, no, if I do list perimeter like this, now I could go and choose this one to list perimeter, and I got to choose this one to diameter. No, this is the length. This one here should be the length, right? And then afterwards, if I go back, do the same thing for this side here. Click as so. Click on it. Before pressing OK, click on the arrow. Go to list perimeters that we just built, and I'm going to choose diameter one. Accept it. So you notice it's going to be fixed on the numbers we already chose. So that's going to be fixed on the distance, and that's fixed on the radius, diameter. Are we okay on that, or I went too fast? So let me just go quickly. I know you guys can rewind it, but I'm just going to redo what I just did. So I will even close the file. So finish sketch. Just erase everything. Delete. No, I have to close it. Close. All right. So again, we went to a new piece, right? New. And I went to sheet metal. I went to make a sketch plane. I sketched on the XZ. I made a rectangle. Oops. Rectangle. That was 4 by 4. I clicked on it. Once that was done, I went and I did finish sketch. I clicked on face, and everything was okay with the face. We're going up direction, so we're good. Press OK. Now that that's done, the next step I did is I went to click on, where is it? It was under Manage, under here, right? So now these are the settings that I worked on before. See, before when I did right click, this is what I did. So if I go down to user and I do add, I typed in diameter. I'll do it like this so you know it's me, dia, and I'll leave this one at 0.04. Okay, add again, and this one here I'll call it LE, like that, so you know it's me. I'll do LEN. All right, so you know that's me who just put it. And this one here should be set to 0.12. All right. Once that is done, I can press done. Then I went and I made a sketch on the top face. I went to the rectangle and I went to use the slot with the center, this one here. I went to the center point and I stretched the line going across. That was, make sure that was horizontal or vertical in this case. And then I went up and I did another one as well. Once that was completed, I went and I did dimension. I went from one point to the next point, which will give me my length. So this is my dimension. Instead of filling in a number, I click on the little arrow, and I went to list the perimeter that we just built. And if I look, there's the one I had built, length. I press check mark, and it shrinks it down to a small little piece. I go again, diameter, over here, open it up, list, and I switch dia, the one I made myself. So you notice it automatically adjusted to the pieces that I built. Is that okay so far? So it's kind of like I did the undo of it. If you didn't like the names, how we set them up, I could always go back. If I'm not mistaken, finish sketch. Let's go back to manage over here, and I could go adjust it back to how I had it. I could change the numbers here, and it's going to update over there as well. I did a fast spelling mistake, I'm being told. Good. So now that that's done, the next step we're going to do, once we have added our 2 dimensions, is we're going to add a point of the center. We never added the point. So let's go back to that sketch. And let's add a point to the center, like so. So now we added a point in the middle of our piece, correct? There we go, and then everything else seems okay. Let's finish the sketch. And there we go. Now we're going to go to use the cut option, which is going to be under sheet metal. If you go under modify, and you go to cut. And it's going to cut, see, right away it cuts through my material. Once I'm okay with it, it's going through the thickness, which is perfect, and I press OK. Now if I go look, I have a hole in my piece. What's the thickness of this piece? Did I change that in the beginning, or I forgot to change it? Manage. No, it was on the sheet metal. Defaults, which is a good number as before. But just in case, it's 0.1, so you can see here, 1, 2. Now that that's done, the next step we're going to do once we accepted it, once we made the punch, is we're going to go back to the manage. We're going to go to the authors part over here, and we're going to do extract eye feature, which is going to look like the icon right over here. Right? Extract eye feature. This is the one we did with the bolt, the eye part. Now we're going to go to extract eye feature. All right? We're going to go, now that that's selected, we're going to type in sheet metal punch eye feature. So now we're on that part. And we're going to go make sure we select the cut of the piece. So it's right over here, this cut here. Now I have it selected. See, it automatically filled in my table for me. Right? So now we can say diameter. We can say there's a limit. We could say the range would be from less than infinity to greater than or equal to infinity, 004, and then less than, so this is perfect how we have it, right? Now let's go check the length. The length, we're going to go put it as a list. And now we're going to input the list that we're saying that this piece could have. So we're going to click to add the following. So we're going to add 0.2. We're going to add 0.25. Add 0.3. 0.35. 0.4. 0.4. 0.5. Oh, 4.5. So we see we had a whole bunch of different parts that we just modified on our list. We see that? We added our list, and we could even do our default one that we want. We could set a default if we want to keep one as default. Is that clear? Once that is done, we press OK. The last one we're going to do is we're going to set the limit of our thickness. And we're going to go use, I have an itchy minus, we're going to use range. And we're going to keep the same one. We're going to change our thickness to 0.02 is our default. And we're going to press OK. So we added a range for here for the diameter. We added a list for our lengths. And for our thickness, we added a range as well. We already have our selected now. I think we already selected it though, right? It's already selected, so we don't have to do it. So now we press save, correct? We hit save. And we're going to call this feature. It's automatically going to save it in our computers. So follow the path. There's no point of making it in your individual one. Just save it in punches. And you're going to change the name to what? Custom slot. And you could put your initials. So you know it's you. So just save it on your desktop here on your computer. If you're working from home, just save it to your desktop and move it around. All right? We're going to press save. And say yes. So now we saved our piece. The next step to do is we're going to go back to the file we had open here. And we're going to create a sketch on the top. So create a sketch over here. And we're going to make a dot point. And we're going to click the point right over here. And we're going to dimension it like we've done before. So from here to here, we're going to put it at 4. And from here to here, we're going to give a distance of 4. And we're going to finish the sketch. So now we have our point of where it's going to go. Once that's done, we're going to go and use the punch tool, which is right over here. And right away, it opens up the punches to show us where it's saved. So now we're going to look for the one we just built. If I look at the preview, it shows me all the different shapes I can use. And there's the one I built. I should have zoomed in before and then saved, but you see it's the one I made. Press open. It's telling you to choose which one you want. So this is the one I want. All right? Where everything else seems okay, we have the preview showing, and we can just press finish. And you notice it automatically cut through right away. Finish. And there's our hole punch that we did for this piece. Okay. If it's going in the wrong direction, what you can do is we could go back, edit feature, and I think we could rotate it. In the angle, where's the preview? Angle over here, we could change the angle to 90. And you see now it's actually the orientation that we wanted. So you could change the angles if it's not coming in correctly. Finish, and now it's going in the right direction. Once that is done, what are we going to do? We're going to pattern it across so we can have multiple little holes going across. We could go back to our sheet metal, like we've done before, our pattern, and we're going to go to a rectangular pattern right over here. We're going to go select our piece. So actually, before we do our piece, let's select our direction. Direction 1 is going to be this edge over here. And we're going to flip is the arrow going the right direction, or should we flip it? We should flip it, so it goes that direction. And our second direction is going to go in this one. So we know which way it's going to be placing. Then we're going to grab our feature, which is going to be our punch. And now we see where it's going. So now we can adjust the numbers that we're playing with. So in the first direction, I think we might have to flip the arrows, but we're going to see. We're going to put the first one as 5. Yeah, we're going to change direction. And the next one as 0.6. And we're going to flip the direction. And for the second direction, which we're going to flip as well, we're going to put it at 2. And we'll leave it at 1. No, 2 and 2. So we have it set, placed nicely in our piece. Once we are done, we can press OK. So now we have our cuts going through our piece. So let's just hit save. And let's continue. Now that we've done this, we're going to add another bend feature to the other side. So the bend feature, we're going to create a plane to the front face of the flange. So we're going to do this. We're going to go do how? How should we do a plane? We're going to do sketch, right? And which is the plane we're going to use? Wrong. We should go make our plane over here. Plane with an offset, which is where? Plane. Click on this plane right over here, and we're going to give it an offset. Why didn't it move? Oops. There we go. And we're going to put how much? 6.3. All right? So we took it and we brought it back. Now we're going to draw on this sketch over here. So we're going to create a sketch on this plane over here. And we're going to make a rectangle. 2 point. And we're going to make it right over here. From here to here. And we're going to give it dimensions. And then we're going to locate it. So dimensions are going to be 0.8, 1.2, and from here to here, it's going to be 1.38, and from here to here, it's going to be 4. Oh, 0.4. Thank you so much. 0.4. So now it's fully constrained, and it's perfectly fixed. Once we're done that, we're going to do finish, and we're going to extrude our face again. We're going to go in this, and we're going to go in the back direction towards us. Press OK. We'll see. If it's not the right direction, we could always flip it to the other way later on. Now that we have this piece built, the next step we're going to do is the bend option, which is going to be found over here. Right? Now that the bend is selected, we're going to go select this edge here, right over here, with the edge right over here, right? And we have that nice bend for us. We're going to make sure that we have it set like we have here already to bend with a particular side face, and we're going to press OK. Look at that. And we're going to hide our work plane that we just made. Now that we've done that, look, it's coming in nicely. We're going to go and apply a corner round. So again, to apply the corner round, we're going to go to sheet metal like we've been doing. Under modify, you're going to go to corner round dialog box. So right here, corner round. With this active, you're going to go select 2 inches for radius, right? And we're going to go choose the feature, and we're going to go make sure we click on this face right over here, right? Click, and you notice it automatically grabs the corners for us. We're going to press OK, and there we go. We have that one nicely put. Once that is done, we just have to go now and make a countersink hole. So again, using the sheet metal, you're going to go to the modify, and you're going to go to the hole feature placed right over here. By clicking that, you're going to notice you get the whole properties pop up. We're going to make sure we do concentric. So how are we going to do concentric? We're going to go choose the edge right over here. Placement. Right there. Oops. There we go. You click, and you click again. It's going to place it to the center of it, like we've done before. Now that we're going to make sure we're using the countersink. So again, if you're not sure, this is counter bore, spot face. This one is countersink. So next we're going to go. We're going to make sure that we have a simple hole, like we have here. Is that right? And then we're going to go put the values over here of 0.2 and 90. And this one here, we're going to go change it to 0.12. Through all. It's going through all. Perfect. Everything else seems okay. We're going to go press OK. And there's our hole placed over here, nicely placed. We're adding how many holes? Just one hole? We're going to add a second hole now, right? To the opposite. Should we do this? Is it the same numbers? Right? So should we just make another hole? Yeah, because it's pretty simple to make a hole with the same settings. I go back to the hole, which is where, guys? We go back into the modify. Where's modify? Modify, hole. Go here, click the same edge again, click once, then click twice. It has already the same settings we had from the last group. It even said the last one used. Press OK. And now we have the 2 holes. I could have used the mirror, but this was a lot more faster. There we go. We have our 2 holes set. The next step we're going to do is we're going to create the hem features. So again, to create, let me just show you the piece before. There we go. We have the 2 holes here, and we have our slots over here with the punches. That's the home button. There we go. Now we're going to use the hem features. So how to find it? We're going to go to sheet metal, under create like we've seen before, on the hem button right over here. We're going to make sure we have a single. And we're going to select the 2 edges that you see over here. So we're going to rotate our piece. I think we're going to use this edge here, right? And I think it's this edge here, or just one edge. No, we're going the wrong way. That's the wrong edge. So let me go uncheck that one. It's the bottom edge. So we're going to go back and do, we were doing, sorry, I just had a blank moment. Hem, and we're doing the hems, that's it. Hem, we're going to this one here. This one makes more sense. And we're going to go make sure everything looks okay. Thickness is okay, and we're going to press OK. So now we added a little bit piece over here, which is what we wanted. Now we're going to mirror the effect of everything we've done to the opposite side. So everything we've worked on right here, instead of redoing it all, we're just going to mirror it to this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to go to mirror. Now we're going to go features. Open it up. We're going to make it identical, and we're going to choose the corner flange that we worked on, which is over this piece here. 1. We're going to take the face. 2. We're going to take the bend. 3. We're going to take the corner rounds, the holes, and the hem. Did we miss anything? We're taking these objects here, right? Everything looks okay. And we're going to mirror it to the other side. So our mirror plane is going to be hopefully in the middle. we just resume. So now that we've done it, we're going to choose our mirror plane, which would be which one, guys? Click. Let's go look. Did I take everything? Right? Press OK. And look at that. We saved redoing all this a second time. Why? Because we mirrored it to the opposite side. If I look, it took everything except for this piece. We didn't take that one. So which one was that? That was the... Which one was this? Corner 3 I didn't take? So we just mirror across. Here, now we just do the same thing. Mirror. Oh. So maybe it doesn't like that last corner. Let's undo that. So maybe, unless it's not supposed to have that corner there, unless we're going to go fix it in a few seconds, I think we're going to go adjust it. No, we should have. Let's just try that again. Let's just, because it might have just, let's just delete this and do it again, all right? Let's go again, mirror. Let's select the features we're working on. Is this still recording? Yes. Let's go select the features. So again, it was the contour flange. It was this guy, you're saying? We don't need this one. It was this guy. Phase 2. Bend. This one. This, and this. But we're not going to get that cut again. Let's just see what happens if I do take this guy here. I'm just curious. What happens?
Because you selected those edges, so it made the corner with those edges.
Oh, it's true. So we're going to make it again. So you're right. So we're going to undo this. We're going to accept the mirror plane as this one here. Accept it. And we're just going to adjust it. How do we fix this piece again? What do we do, guys? We went to, what do we use? Corner. Seam. We clicked, did we do rib or we did seam? We clicked this edge here with this edge here, and we put, this is okay, right? We used the bend and we put round. Oh no, for the corner. Round. There. See, we adjusted, because he had a point, we were grabbing to those corners. Now that that's done, we're going to press the home button. It looks beautiful, right? Once that's done, we hit save, in case you screw up the next part. So now this is our sheet metal, but for them to produce it, they have to have it flattened so they can actually punch the holes for it. So once you're done your piece, the next step you're going to go to is you're going to go to sheet metal like we've been using before, and you're going to go to the flat pattern right over here. And you're going to go to create flat pattern. Watch this. You're going to click on it. It won't crash. It's just going to load and make it flat for you. This is the piece that's already flattened. You see, so they know this is how the piece is going to be cut, and all this is going to be wasted material right now. They don't need any of the other material around it. So what they'll do is they'll have a sheet metal and they'll maximize that piece. They'll put as many pieces as possible. In here, they could have other pieces for other projects to maximize that sheet metal. Once that's done, we're going to set the order of the bend. So we're going to go to bend order annotation. See how it's adjusting? It already tells us, it's saying first you bend number 1, then you bend number 2, then you bend number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If that number is okay, we could keep it. But in our case here, is it good? 1 is good, 3, 4, everything looks good. 7, 8, 9, 10. You could change the order if you want. You can even select the bend numbers. So if you want to modify it, we could go back here, click on one of them, and you could change it. You could change it to adjust the number or not. In this case here, we don't really mind which numbers it is, I think, at the moment. No, I think it doesn't affect us right now. So again, if you want to change it, you can just click here, change the number, and press OK. So this is it. That's our flattened sheet place. Good. Once that is done, if you want to go back to where you were, you say go back to folded part. And now it's back to folded. You want to go flatten it, you flatten it again. You want to go build it, you build it. You could go back and forth with it. Once that is done, you could save the file. So continue on with this one now. We're also going to do the sheet for it to complete this last file. All right? So now with the sheet, it's going to be the same thing like we've done in the previous ones. We're going to make it correspond to what we need. Again, whatever company you work for, it's going to be different standards they may use, but overall, placing it should be the same exact method. Good. So let's start. Let's go, press File, New, and we're going to go and make sure we open a standard IDW, which is going to be our drawing and annotation. Press Create. And we're going to activate our base view. We can make it right away, project our projection in the corner. So I could do my angle like this, which looks beautiful. And I could drag it from here to here. Good. Press OK. And now I have my first piece. I could go back again, do base, go from starting from here. That's OK. And now I'm going to project my top view, like so. Press again, Enter. And now I have my pieces. Again, if I want to make this hidden, I could click on it, Edit, View, and I could go to here and make sure that they are in hidden lines, wireframe, whatever you want, you could adjust it. Oops, did it not work? Edit View. There we go. Click on this one also. If I would have clicked on the first one, it would have updated all three. But because I broke it up, it's separated. All that's left to do now is once we have 1, 2, 3 pieces, is we're going to add our base view, but we want the flattened part so they can see how it looks. So we go base view again, but instead of going right away without reading it, you see we have flat pattern right over here. So it shows us how it looks flattened. We could now drag it up over here to place it where we want to place our piece. In this case, we'll place it right over here. Okay? We can leave it placed over there. We can make it bigger. We could pull it to the side. And you press OK. Now we have our piece built. You see it? Good. All that's left to do is we're going to start adding some bend notes. So to add some notes, we're going to go to Annotate. And we're going to go to, under Annotate, we're going to use Feature Notes, which is over here, and we're going to go to Bend. And then we're going to click on the line. And it's going to automatically give us the correct number for us. You don't have to make up anything. It's going to do it for us. You can go this one over here, this one over here, see? Here, 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 and here. And you could also add it up here and up here as well. So we have all our bend notes. Then I could go, while I'm still working on this one, I could add my center marks. We're going to go to, from here we did all this. Everything seems okay. We can even retrieve our annotations from before. But where's our center line? Do we see it? Center line over here. Let's just retrieve actually. Or we can even do right click. No, let's do retrieve. And we could actually go and look for our dimensions that we did before, if we have any. Or we could just go over here, right click, and say Automate Center Lines. We're going to go choose our punches that we just built before, right? And once that is okay, we could just press OK. It's going to, it should have punched all my, it should have given the notes for these guys. It didn't do it. Let's try again. Let's go select it again. Automate center lines. How do I do the punch? Did I not add the center lines on the original one? Here. And I'm doing it on this guy. Here. What do you mean select the view? This is the view. I can't, well, let me zoom in a bit. See, this one should work. I have the punch, right? We should automatically grab these guys. Oh, there we go. Now they work. I just have to press OK twice. So now that's done. Now that we did this, we added the center lines. We could go again back to the annotate. We could go to the feature notes again. We could add the punch notes. Zoom into the flat pattern and click on the arc like so. So now we could have a little note saying down 70. We could add this note over here. We pull it out. Actually, we should have went to the lower one. Let's go grab this guy. So again, we're going to do the punch note. Select this guy over here, and we're going to pull it out over here. Okay? Once that is done, you can press close. And like that, you learned how to do the sheet metal. Thank you so much. Again, subscribe, like, and share, and click on the little bell. Thank you.